Now, your local weather with the KX Storm Team.
Well, our one teeny tiny thunderstorm is even teenier and tinier than it was just a few minutes ago. Hasn't even made it to Highway 83, and it's almost completely fallen apart. Still could be a brief little rain shower moving towards the McCluskey area right now. And this is what it looks like on the Skycam from Bismarck. This is really not even very big clouds. Oh, and you can see just a few sprinkles right behind that banner right there. 66 degrees, 54 is the dew point. In Minot, this is what it's looking like. You don't see any rain here on this view, but 72 degrees, the dew point's at 54. And yesterday, the dew points were in the 30s and 40s, so it's come up quite a bit. Now, it's more what we would call normal for this time of year. It's not real sultry yet. Tomorrow, we'll be approaching that, though. 67 in Williston, dew point is up to 51. And in Dickinson, a very nice night in Dickinson. The temperature is 67, and the dew point is at 58. So here are some of the other temperatures around the area, 60s and 70s. Still very warm in Medora right now. That's nice. The wind has dropped off considerably from what we had earlier today. It's still around 10 to 15 miles an hour. It's still out of the south. It's still bringing in more moisture, which is one of the ingredients for potential thunderstorms tomorrow to become severe with large hail and torrential rainfall should there be a thunderstorm. And now the dew points, again, as I mentioned earlier, yesterday in the 30s and 40s. Today they're in the 50s most locations, and Medora only at 46. And they're going to be much warmer than, or much higher than that tomorrow. In fact, early in the morning, probably still mid-50s, but by maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we could be looking at mid to upper 60s, and some spots might even hit around 70 degrees for the dew point. That is a tremendous amount of moisture if a thunderstorm would happen to develop. So the Storm Prediction Center, 3 days out, which is actually a little rare, for at least North Dakota, has put this whole area in tan here in an enhanced risk for severe weather. That means a number of storms and some big storms as well. Off to the west would be a slight risk, which in itself is usually pretty high. Now tomorrow, the hail size could be the size of baseballs. Now, not all the storms will do that, but that is a real potential tomorrow with the high dew points and everything that's going on, all the wind shear that'll be happening. The wind gust could be as high as 80 miles an hour, and baseball-size hail and 80 mile an hour, if that was ever to get together, that would cause some damage. So hopefully that doesn't happen. And it's entirely possible we don't have any thunderstorms tomorrow. Now, I think we will, but tomorrow the atmosphere is going to be capped. And this ought to help you understand a little bit what a cap is, because in an uncapped atmosphere, you notice the temperature here. This would be at like ground level. Notice how it just drops throughout the atmosphere. So the warm air will rise as long as it's warmer than the air around it. So in an uncapped atmosphere, it rises freely. You can have showers, you can have thunderstorms. Well, in a capped atmosphere, it starts cooling off, but then it runs into some warm air up in the atmosphere a little bit. We call it an inversion, and that's, notice how it's warmer here? Well, that's not going to rise anymore, so it stops thunderstorms. Tomorrow, the atmosphere will be capped. We're real sure of that. But we're also thinking that the cap will probably erode, if not just flat out break, tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. If that happens, then we could have some explosive thunderstorms. So that's kind of what we're worried about. Temperatures tomorrow by lunchtime will be around 80 and close to 90 in some spots, and humid tomorrow. So expect a humid day if you're going to be out. Thunderstorms could fire late in the afternoon or in the evening, and then a chance of rain over the weekend. And it looks like for the southern part of the state, there might even be enough rain over the weekend to kind of impact a few plans. But first things first, tonight's a nice night, but tomorrow night we might be talking about thunderstorms.
Yikes.
A lot to watch out for tomorrow. Thanks, Tom. Stick around. Sports is next.